Okay. Okay. We're doing this a little early. How about that? 6 minutes to 5. Is it irresponsible for me to be early? Uh, I'm going to talk about that thumbnail first because I saw that article. I went, whoa, big mistake on China's part. China, big mistake. I'm going to show you how they were. This is the accusation from Trump, is that they meddled in our elections. Now, this is the first I've heard a formal complaint about China from the height of our government. Usually it's Venezuela or blah, 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 or all these other Frankfurt, blah, blah, blah. Read all the conspiracies, read them all. Doesn't mean they're not true, just means waiting for that conclusive evidence. So now comes his accusation against China. And I don't care if there's a conclusive evidence or not. He's using it as an excuse to launch an executive order to secure our elections. So you can see, he pinned it on a good enemy, and now I hope we get some mileage out of this. I think this is supposed to pressure the passing of the SAVE Act. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Where are my manners? I'm Doug TenNapel. This show's called Doug in Exile. All of you are subscribers, I know already, because I did 3 videos today, and that means many of you didn't get a notification for this live show, and yet you're here. So you must be doing a search or looking for the channel and waiting for the live to show up. So thank you for being here. What I'm trying as an experiment, just so you know what I'm doing, is I'm doing around like a 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock central show, and then a 5 o'clock live. And it's all just a test, okay? And the 12, 2, and 4 o'clock, I'm trying to do about a 6 to 7 minute episode on these live shows. I'm trying to do about 18-minute episodes. All these episodes are getting shorter because if you up the percentage that people watch, then YouTube pushes it out to a bigger audience. That's the theory. That's what we're trying for a couple weeks. Welcome, as you're my petri dish. You're my lab rat. You're my lab monkeys. Welcome. Okay, I will say hi to the chat in a moment. Of course, you guys are always welcome to comment. You know the first thing to do, you give us a thumbs up. That pushes this show out. I like hearing from you. A sentence about yourself would be great. It also helps push the show out. But tell me, I'm from here. I'm from this part of the state, or I'm from this other country. Or I've been listening to you from the beginning, or I'm new. Especially if you're new, I love to hear it. We also have links open in the description where you guys can call Chapter. I don't have to even tell you that one because calling that number helps with Medicare, and I trust them with you, my audience. And I have memberships open, which right now I'm not doing a lot of, if any, exclusive content for my memberships. It just means you want to support the show. And of course, you're always welcome to back out of that. No pressure ever. Let's get to that first article right away, because I think I saw this one and my head blew up. Whoa, I'm not even sharing it yet. Come on, people. How professional am I? Okay, here we go. This is from Mike Lindell, the Mike Lindell Offense Fund. Now, I thought first, like, Mike Lindell, his news, I might need to back it up with another source. Well, I went out and got another source. Okay, so first let's do Mike Lindell's read on this because he broke the story to me. President Trump has reviewed a 17-page draft executive order, we call those EOs, that alleges China interfered in the 2020 election and uses that claim to justify declaring a national emergency over U.S. elections, per the Washington Post. So he's crediting the Washington Post. I'm going to bring up that Washington Post, more on that in a minute, because that's also quoted from in The Hill. Now, emergency order, national emergency gives him special powers to do things. So under the framework, Trump could move to ban mail-in ballots nationwide, branding them a tool for foreign influence and election manipulation. Now, you might say, hey, a president can't do that. Well, our government did do that. We did an emergency order on COVID, which changed the rules for mail-in ballots and signature verification waiving them or loosening the rules because of a national emergency. Restrict or ban electronic voting machines, arguing they are vulnerable vectors for foreign hacking and interference. By the way, that is a bipartisan claim. Everyone says, oh, it's Trump just, trying to undermine our elections. No, I have more Democrats making that claim than Republicans. It was just done back in 2016 or right before 2016. Major questions about voting machines. I'm telling you, I am neutral on the subject. I'm always waiting on it. Some people get mad that I won't just jump in and say, there it is. I'll only say I have on video Amy Klobuchar saying machines are not secure. Elizabeth Warren saying machines are a huge threat. Durbin, Raskin on video pre-2016 saying machines are a problem. Next, choke off federal funding and certificates for any state or county deemed non-compliant with the new emergency rules. Those would be blue state counties and big cities. Democrats and election officials are already calling it unconstitutional and warning this is about controlling elections, not protecting them. I just want to say, and I played you that clip of that white kid yesterday saying that we only want to pass the SAVE Act to secure the elections by saying only citizens can vote with an ID, right? He was saying we did it to disenfranchise women and blacks, minorities, especially black populations. And that black lady came out and tore him a new one. I just want to say that when Mamdani said that he required 2 identifications for people to shovel snow in New York, if you're using Democrat reasoning, the only reason he required an ID for people to help shovel snow was to disenfranchise and prevent blacks and women from showing up and getting paid to shovel snow. Do you see how you apply the Democrat logic to another Democrat? If requesting an ID is a form of disenfranchising blacks and women, then Mamdani, when he asked for an ID for people to shovel snow, he only asked for an ID to disenfranchise blacks and women because he's a sexist and a racist. I would never say that. Democrats say that. You guys see how this works now? Because I can play this game all day. Here's the Hill, which is the source of that argument on that executive order. Trump, actually, it was the Post, the New York Post. Trump eyeing mail-in ballot voting machine ban ahead of midterms. This just released today on the Hill. Here's the headline. Pro-Trump activists who say they're coordinating with the White House are circulating a draft executive order urging President Trump to declare a national emergency over the 2020 election based on a claim that China interfered and used that emergency to take sweeping control over how Americans vote in the midterms. Let's slow that down, they say. Now they're going to give you all the legal precedent for why it probably won't happen or could get stopped by their courts. Again, I support Trump's free speech, to the ability to try this, and then you find out if it's constitutional or not if you get away with it. Here's Reuters with another odd claim, because Reuters, as you know, is a left-wing news institution. What do they say about China? This is interesting. This affects Japan. Here's Reuters. Chinese influence operation targets Japan elections. Trump, other countries, a U.S. foundation says. So this is Reuters, which is supposed to be pretty neutral. This is Japan's new leader. This says February 26 Reuters, in the days surrounding Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takayachi's February election win, several dozen X accounts linked to a Chinese misinformation campaign attacked her deeply conservative views and hawkish approach to China, said U.S. A research institute focused on national security and foreign policy. The 35 accounts, along with 9 channels on the micro-blogging site Tumblr, pushed corruption allegations and portrayed Takiachi as illegitimate and militaristic. The accounts suggest the prime minister is a reckless, cult-backed leader driving Japan toward war, said Maria Riofrio, a researcher with the Foundation for Defense of Democracy Center on Cyber and Technology Innovation. That's a mouthful. I just want to say, look, when they say that she's a warmonger and she's a cult leader, they said the same thing about Trump. So probably the same cult leaders that are influencing voters against a Japanese conservative are probably saying the same thing about an American conservative like Trump. The accounts, part of a network of at least 327 X accounts. I've been warning you guys about this for years, that what you're being fed, and by the way, I will guarantee you this, you go look at these 327 X accounts from China. Guess what their position is on Epstein? It's important. Guess what their position is on Pam Bondi? She should be fired or replaced. Enough said. At least 327X and other social media accounts have since December on earlier attacked adversaries of Beijing or pushed pro-China policy positions and targeted human rights organizations. They're also pro-trans, by the way, and anti the Epoch Times. Sought to influence domestic politics in Japan, the United States, the Philippines, and Latin America, according to a new analysis by Riofrio. A spokesperson for Takiachi said her office is aware of suspicious foreign social media accounts that have posted content related to Japan's elections. Now, this is a Washington-based nonprofit. I'm going to see if there's a headline here for the White House. Neither the White House nor the DEA responded to a request for comment. So this is speculation until I get more information on it, but I find it compelling, and this could be what Trump uses to justify an emergency executive order to secure our elections. I'm for it. Go for it, guy. Remember, anything Trump does can't be as illegal as what's already been done with our elections. And most of us are at the point of like, if you're not going to pass the SAVE Act, who cares? Here's Pete Hegseth. This is this blockbuster news, guys. I'm giving you the meaty headlines as fast as I can. We're going to blow through these so fast. You're going to be caught up on the news. Boom, 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 like that. Pete Hegseth, thank you for your attention on this matter. What's he talking about? Anthropic AI and Dario Amodei, the corrupt CEO of Anthropic, that's an AI company. Here's Trump. The United States of America, all caps, will never allow a radical left woke company to dictate how our great military fights and wins wars. This is based on criticism from that woke AI company, Anthropic. Based on the Anthropic principle, that is human-centered. If someone is turning God into something anthropomorphic means making God more human or human-centered, anthropic. The woke company to dictate how our great military fights and wins wars. The decision belongs to your commander-in-chief and the tremendous leaders I appoint to run our military. And of course, we all agree with that. The left-wing nut jobs at Anthropic have made a disastrous mistake trying to strong-arm the Department of War and force them to obey their terms of service instead of our Constitution. So Anthropic told Hegseth and our military that if you want to use their AI, say for email or whatever you use, we all use AI, okay? AI is just, it's the future. It's how we work. It's how you manage things. But Anthropic was saying your terms of service would mean that you wouldn't use it for your military. And Anthropic is a lunatic, immoral company. I'll explain that in a minute. Their selfishness is putting American lives at risk. Our troops are in danger and our national security in jeopardy, says Trump. There's a big difference between Elon Musk's Grok AI and Anthropic's AI. I trust Elon Musk. A company's AI, the AI is only going to be as good as its company leader. I'm going to ignore that 2 years ago, before Elon Musk bought Twitter, that Alex Jones said he was probably the Antichrist. Okay, I'm going to ignore that. Therefore, I am directing every federal agency in the United States government to immediately cease all use of Anthropic's technology. We don't need it. We don't want it. And we'll not do business with them again. There will be a 6-month phase-out period for agencies like the Department of War who are using Anthropic's products right now at various levels. Anthropic better get their act together and be helpful during the phase-out period, or I will use the full power of the presidency to make them comply with major civil and criminal consequences to follow. Now, this automatically makes Anthropic the Democrats' favorite AI company. Democrats just now, that's the Pavlov bell, ding, and now they're all slobbering going, wait, anti-America, Trump hates them? We have to go fund Anthropic. We have to get them to fund our party. Because that's it. Eventually how wars are going to be fought, guys. They're going to be between AI companies, between China's AI companies and our AI companies, between Democrat AI companies and Republican AI companies. We want as many of them on our side as possible. That's why I love Elon Musk. Okay, let's see. We will decide the fate of our country, not some out-of-control radical left AI company run by people who have no idea what the real world is all about. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Make America great again, President Donald J. Trump. I love him, and I love the way he talks, and this is absolutely correct. You have to buckle these companies under the Constitution, that's for sure. Whoa, $100 super chat. Jury-rigged 9712. By the way, my brother, he's a member and a moderator, but I'm taking the beloved Miss Snaple out for date night tonight. She wants to go to an Irish pub that has a bar, and I think their food is questionable. Our political system is a mess. It's been ruined by self-serving politicians and ideologically based government apparatchiks. That's a fact, my brother. Small window to save ourselves. I agree. I think jury-rigged, what's coming to all of our attention, especially with the Thune stuff and how complicated the rules are and how deep the spying was by Jack Smith on Kash Patel, Susie Wiles, and everyone's going, there's no arrests. I do have some arrests to announce, but it's very discouraging to see how corrupt our government is, how widespread it is, both parties, especially one party. The Democrat Party is so evil, it's actually safe to be a Republican, even if the Republican Party is also compromised. Did you hear what I said? Even if the Republican Party is compromised, it's better to be a Republican because the Democrat Party hates them so much, and the Democrat Party is way beyond corrupt, absolutely evil, anti-American, anti-Constitution. The Republican Party are merely spineless cowards. Spineless cowards. Not quite as bought, sold, corrupt, and bowing to Satan and eating babies. Okay? So it's not that the Republicans are good. It's that the Democrat Party is super evil, and the Democrat Party despises the Republicans. It's like when we allied with Russia to kill Germany, the greater threat. It's like Russia's one thing, a commie's one thing, but a Nazi, got to kill those guys. Okay, now I have a little bit of factoid on that Anthropic. I'm just going to give you the most terrifying piece of news that you'll ever hear of what they're into. Are you ready for this? This is psychotic, guys. Anthropic is for fully autonomous weapons. I want you to think about that for a minute. They have AI-controlled, fully autonomous, no human involved drones that you can program and have them go out and shoot and not recall them. Does that sound like a good idea? And then they won't buckle themselves under. They're trying to get Pete Hegseth and our Pentagon to go under their terms of service. It puts them in control of our military. I don't think so. Partially autonomous. And by the way, Biden would have fallen for this thing in a second. Harris would be, yeah, where do I sign up and who do I go to bed with? Partially autonomous weapons like those used today in Ukraine are vital to the defense of democracy. Even fully autonomous weapons, those that take humans out of the loop entirely and automate selecting and engaging targets, may prove critical to our national defense. This is a statement by Anthropic. I got this from their website. But today, frontier AI systems are simply not reliable enough to power fully autonomous weapons, but you're getting there, boy. Okay. That just terrifies the daylights out of me. Wait, there's more here. Secretary of State Marco Rubio released a statement saying he is designating Iran as a state sponsor of wrongful detention. Wrongful detention. I like that. We're racking up the charges against them because we're about to go in, guys. I'm going to show you the last clip where we're going to go in. Oh, there's another $100 super chat, jury rigged. Date nights on me, Doug. Brother with $200 in super chats. The beloved Miss Sinaple and I are going to have a blast. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that so much. You know, the way that you guys take care of me is you take care of Angie's and my date night. Happy wife, happy life. My married men or anyone who's ever been in love knows that. You guys know that. Here is now, real quick on the economy. I'm going to give you a couple of blurbs on the economy. It's all good news for Trump. I hear a lot of rhinos, Republicans, kind of Beltway Republicans saying Trump's tariffs are disruptive and they're terrible for the economy. Watch this.
The average long-term U.S. mortgage rate fell to 5.98%. That's the first time it's gotten below 6% since September of 2022. So what does this mean for home buyers and sellers? Here to discuss is realtor.
Since 2022, finally below 6%. Now that sounds expensive, right? I've told you guys how bad inflation is, how hard it is to bring those prices back down. Easy for them to go up, hard to bring them back down. It takes time. We're just now seeing the downturn of mortgage rates. And this was J.D. Vance's plan also for removing illegals. If you drain illegals out of our lower income housing, people backfill into that and it creates more housing, right? Less competition does what to prices? It brings them down. I'm here in Franklin, Tennessee, of course, where half of Los Angeles moved here. You can't get a place, my friends. You can't get a place. That's not the only economic good news. The hits keep coming. Turacelli here over on CNBC.
About energy, food, and trade. It's up 0.3 as expected. 1/10 lower than the rear view mirror, and 0.3 would be the smallest since it was 0.2 in November of last year.
Okay, that's the lowest inflation for those things, which is down. I think he said it was, what was it, 0.3% or something. That's still going up, but it's slowed down. What you need, because it's very hard to bring inflation down, very hard. You just have to slow it and then grow the economy beyond it. Okay. So suddenly you're going to find out that $10 for a dozen eggs won't be that expensive if we can double your income or your retirement or the value of other things. It's possible. Tamara Jennings, super sticker. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate that. You guys those are my members, are the people that really hold this channel together. Wait, there's more good news. More good news. Mike Johnson. Haven't heard from him in a while.
For the average household across the country, it's about $10,000 more in take-home pay that you get to keep that Uncle Sam doesn't take from you. That's because of Republican policies. We did exactly what we said we were going to do. Larry, to your point, I think more and more people are going to realize that. They're going to feel the effect and the benefit of that as we go further into 2026.
So that's both from income, from tariffs, and the fact that they did not raise the taxes with the big, beautiful bill. Did not raise the taxes. You have $10,000 in your purse, allegedly. Average Americans have $10,000 more. That's why when egg prices go up, you're supposed to have more liquid capital to pay for them. That does not help the poor. I get it. There are I have poor people in my audience. I like taking care of you guys. I don't expect you guys to give dough. I just want your views. I'm here to entertain you, hopefully for free. But a lot of people are out there suffering. They're not feeling that income yet, but you should see it on, for those of us, when I make money on my tax returns, my taxes won't be as high. I will have tens of thousands of dollars that someone like me will save because I'm at peak earning period of my life.
Scott Bessent said so well a couple weeks ago. He summarized it. He said, listen, 2025 was just setting the table, and 2026 will be the feast and the banquet in the economy. And I think we can expect dramatic growth, continued growth and expansion, more jobs, higher wages. I think all those things will happen because we have put the conditions in place to make it possible. We wrote the Working Families Tax Cut, the big, beautiful bill, to gear it for lower and middle class earners. And they are going to feel the effects of that. It's not just no tax on dips, no tax on overtime. It's all of it. All the combined effects of the pro-growth policies we infused in the legislation are now coming to fruition. So we expect great things ahead. And as we go into the midterm election, I think people are going to be in a very good mood about the economy.
Okay, he's predicting that the economy is going to go well, and our election largely depends on that fact. So he better hope he's right. People the economy's better. You just don't feel it yet. You got to be able to feel it by the election. So I'm happy to see Speaker Mike Johnson taking care of that. Anytime I can get Stephen A. Smith calling the Democrats racist, I'm all for that.
I don't get caught up in what they say, acting as if I trust them. It's just like when they bring up the word racist when they're talking about, Republicans as you know what I always say? So I'm supposed to believe you're not?
Yeah, I'm supposed to believe a Democrat is not a racist. Of course we don't believe that. They're absolutely nuts. They're absolutely unhinged. Here's, oh man, this one's tough. 50 million Muslims now live in Europe. There were less than 500,000, 500,000 in 2000, just 26 years ago. They went from 500,000 in 2000 to 50 million Muslims in Europe. That's enough for Muslims to sway any election in Europe. It's not replacement theory. It's just replacement, period. It's the conquering of a people without firing a single bullet. It's civilizational collapse. That's the key. Civilization will collapse, not with violence, without a bullet. We're going to hand it over to them free. Here's Brandon Gill says the left's open borders were a deliberate political program to rig our elections at the expense of American families. We have a version of it here in the U.S. As England goes, we're just imitating it. And finally, here's the last clip, which is Trump on Iran will not give up the desire to develop nuclear weapons. And that's why we predict, as we all predict, you guys all know this, we're going to go to war with Iran.
Well, they should make a deal, but they don't want to quite go far enough, and it's too bad. Look, we've been playing with them for 47 years, and that's a long time. They've been blowing the legs off our people, blowing the face off our people, the arms. They've been knocking out ships one by one. But every month there's something else, so you can't put up with it too long. We're not happy with the negotiation. They just don't want to. They don't want to say the key words. We're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They have to say we're not going to have a nuclear weapon, and they just can't quite get there. They want to enrich a little bit. You don't have to enrich when you have that much oil. So I'm not happy with the negotiation.
Okay, he's not happy with the negotiations. That spells bad news for Iran. And on that happy note, I have to go to my date night. Thank you guys for watching. Give us one final thumbs up. We have 1,900 people watching. I thank you guys for showing up. As I bring you the news every day to my subscribers, you guys make this job fun. And together, America's in good hands, not just with Trump in office, but if patriots don't give up and don't despair. I'm here to tell you, it is a sin to despair. Stay frosty, stay positive, stay strong. Just like the Marines, you live for the patriot on your right and the patriot on your left. You guys are worth the fight. We won't give up because other patriots are worth it. I'm Doug in Exile.